Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the starter guide here on DayZ. So you just bought DayZ and you're trying to figure out how to play the zombie apocalyptic game? Well, stay tuned and I will show you guys the starter things that I wish I would have known when I started playing this game. Okay, so you started the game, you press start, and you're just having a difficult time looking at which server you should join. Every server that you see right now are either high or medium population. This means that every server you're going to find action as much as you don't want to, as much as you want to avoid it. Even in medium pop, you'll actually come across people. Now you're seeing, if you're in America, you see if I click the American servers, I would have different options. You have different options. You have Asians, European, any types of server, and always all the servers will be listed. Now we are going to choose Americans because we're closer to the United States. Now the way that American servers work is WD means Washington DC, which means East Coast, and then the other one means I think it stands for San Francisco, which means West Coast, which means depending on how closer you are to each of these sides of the United States, you're gonna get better service with this. Now you choose a server, it doesn't matter which server it is, remember what server you choose and you're gonna be able to join. Now before DayZ started or was fully released, there was this many things that were called duping, where there was like a glitch that people could duplicate, and there was also a thing called server surfing. Server surfing still exists, but now it comes with something called a soft ban, which means if you jump more than, I think it's like 5 times or something like that, if they basically the game picks that you're jumping between servers way too much, it'll give you a soft ban between anything like 1 to 2 hours. And if it's too bad, if you're jumping like extremely a lot, it's just gonna give you like a 24-hour ban. So just be careful with that. What does server surfing mean? It basically means when you on DayZ, when you log out of the server, when you hit exit, you exit out of the server and you could join another server, jump in that server, and you could potentially loot that entire server. So let's say you go to like a place where there's a lot of good weapons and gear, you loot the whole place. Now you're like, okay, well I have to wait until this thing respawns, or you could just jump to another server in the exact same area that you're gonna spawn in, and maybe nobody has looted that area, so you get to loot that whole entire area again, get better guns, and get the same thing, like better gear and all of that stuff. Now thank God that the devs listened and they started giving people bans, but it doesn't mean that it's fully healed. There's still gonna be people server serving. I hope you're not one of those people, but if you are gonna be, just do it safely and don't get banned like an idiot. Finally, you're in the game. Now what do? So now it depends on what time you log in. It doesn't mean that this goes based on time. I don't know how long daytime or nighttime cycles are in this game, so don't quote me on these, but it almost feels like daytime is anything between hour or an hour and a half, and it seems like nighttime is roughly like 30 to 40 minutes. It feels that way. It might be longer, it might be shorter, who knows. But in the past, what people used to do, this is when server surfing comes into play. It was basically they waited until it was nighttime. Once it was nighttime, they would just jump to another server where it was daytime, so they could just avoid nighttime altogether, because it is dark in DayZ when it's nighttime. Now the devs basically made it so there is no such thing as another server being daytime. All the servers are either in daytime or in nighttime. It doesn't matter which server you go to, you're gonna have to deal with nighttime whether you like it or not. So now when you first spawn into the game, you're gonna spawn in with all these items in your inventory. You're gonna spawn in with some racks, which you could use in case you start bleeding from a zombie attacking you. You're gonna spawn in with a flare, so that way it can help you see at night. You're gonna spawn with a stone knife or knife. This is going to help you open cans, cut bushes, cut trees to make fires. You're going to spawn in with a soda because, as you can see at the bottom right, our water is low, and you're going to spawn in with an apple in order for you to feed your hunger. Now soda is going to give you water and a little bit of food, while apples will give you food and a little bit of water. Now if you look at here at the bottom right, you're going to see all of the essentials that you're going to need. First one is water. It's a yellow, so that means it's half. That means I really need to get to a water source. The next one, the little apple, would be the food. After that is the temperature. Now, depending whether you're cold or hot, it would increase the amount of food that you consume, or water if you're cold or hotter. Now after that is the little blood, the little tear right there. That is when you're bleeding. If you see those arrows pointing down, you gotta bandage yourself up as quick as possible. And of course, the little cross is gonna be, your regular like health bar. Now, as you can see, when it's white, it means it's good, it's normal. If it's yellow, that means it's a little bit, you need to pay attention to it. If it's red, it means it's critical. You need to take care of it now. If you see the little 1 bar pointing down, it means that, it's going down. If you see 2 little arrows pointing down, it means it's going down faster. If you see 3, and you get the idea. It only goes up to 4. Now, it's not necessarily like critical when you see this in the food or in the water. But if you see this and when you're bleeding, you need to heal yourself quickly with rags, or else your screen is going to start turning gray and you're going to pass out from blood loss. Same thing when it comes to health. I'm sure everybody knows, if you lose your health, you die. Now we're up to the best part of the game, inventory management. So if you can see right here on the screen, you're going to see all of my items, and you're going to see in each item, it has like a little square box, I guess you could say. And in each item, you're going to see at the top right of every item, you see like the rags are 3, the flares 3, the knife is 2, soda 2, and apple 1. Now, if you can see, my hoodie is 11 out of 20 and my jeans are 0 out of 20. This means how many slots I could hold. Now, slots are different than weight. Each item weighs different. Now, the weight will only affect at the bottom left. If you could see, you see a full bar of stamina. The more weight you are, the heavier you are. That means the less you could run, because of course you're gonna get tired. If you're carrying more stuff and you're actually start jogging or running, you're gonna get tired easily. So you want to try to stay as light as possible, but at the same time, you know, have enough necessary food. Like, the number one thing you should always have is food, and then the second thing will be like guns, and then a melee weapon. Everything else is just extra, you know. All right, so you got the basics down. You know about inventory management, you know about the water, you know about the stuff that you start out with. Now you want to learn how to play the game. What you want to do, the number one thing when you first start out this game, you want to know, in order for you to open up your inventory, you're going to have to hit, if you're playing on Xbox, the double square buttons at the left. I'm going to point it right here. And then if you want to scroll through your menu, you want to hit the LB or the RT buttons in order to go either left or right of the thing. Don't try your analog stick, because it's not going to work. You're going to have to do the left or the right of your stick. Now, in order for you to aim whenever you are holding a melee weapon up, or whenever you're doing like a gun, or you're pointing at a gun at somebody, you want to hold the LT button, and you're going to fire or swing your axe or whatever you have with the RT button. That's going to be your best friend. This is something that a lot of people get confused with, and a lot of people would just not know. And if you want to talk in game chat, you're going to have to hold down this button. I don't know what it's called, but here it is right here. Now, if you're holding the LT button and you want to aim, like let's say you have a gun and you want to like aim far away, you're gonna have to press down the right analog stick. Press it down and you're gonna be able to aim. And if you want to go on first person, you're gonna have to hit the right analog stick twice down, and you're gonna be able to go on first person. If you want to get out, hit it again and you'll go back into third person. Now, if you want to like focus in, it's kind of like a thing that you could do in order for you to see like better what's down all the way far away. You just hit the LB button twice in a row and it would focus you in. And if you want to get out, hit the button again twice in a row and you get out of that mode as well. All right, so you're in the world, you're walking around, you're grabbing loot and you're just going at it and stuff like that. If you guys know, there are certain items that stack on DayZ. How do you stack? Grab the item, press A on it, hover over it, press A on it, and then whatever item you have over, you could go over to the same exact item and you hold B on it. It should give you the option of combine. Perfect example would be things like rags stack up to like 6 times, and then other items like clothes doesn't stack, but like there's other items that will stack. It's not many, but rags is the number one thing that people forget. And now remember, you have to collect as many rags as you want. Rags will help you. Remember, they heal you from whenever you're cut, whenever you're bleeding or anything like that. Rags are your best friend on this game. So whenever you get across or you come across clothing, but they don't have the pockets or they don't have, they're damaged or anything like that, you want to always pull out the stone knife that you got in the very beginning, and you want to cut the clothes, and it will give you rags. And you have to remember, stack your rags up to 6. You don't need to have a lot of rags, but later on you're going to see why you're going to need these rags. All right, you're walking around the world and you find a piece of clothes. When you hit the double square button to check what's around you in your vicinity, you're going to be able to see, as you can see, this piece of clothing has 30 slots, which is far better than the regular 20 slot hoodie that I have. So of course I'm going to equip it. So I'm going to head over to where my hoodie is. I'm going to hold the X button and it's gonna drop anything that I have hover over. It's gonna drop it on the floor, and then says I want to equip this. All I gotta do is hover over it, and then I'm just gonna press the Y button, and it's gonna equip it right away. And then I just have to go over to the hoodie inventory that is now in the floor, and I'm just gonna keep pressing X and then putting all the stuff that was in my hoodie pocket inside this new pocket. This game is very, like, I guess they kind of like go towards the realistic side. If you take a hoodie, it's not like you could go over something and you could click the button and it's like, oh, replace it for the new one. No, they do this to make it harder, and it puts you in like in a panic state that you're just like, who's that? Who's that sound? Is somebody gonna shoot me? Things like that, you know. All right, now we came across the dilemma that we have these pants right here. These pants hold the same amount of slots that my pants currently do, so it's 20 out of 20. Now obviously I'm not gonna be taking these pants. If you want to take these pants, or you find something that looks cool, so you want to wear it, you want to match or something like that, make sure you check out to see if it's damaged. There's different stages of clothing or any items durability on DayZ. Number one, which be pristine, which is like the best, is brand new. Worn is basically like, you know, it's basically, the word says it's been worn, it's been used already. And then there's damage, which means it's taking damage. Badly damaged, which means it's about to be ruined. And then ruin is the last stage, which means that's it, it's over. If you have anything ruined, do not take it off, because as soon as you take it off, you will not be able to put it back on. And if you cannot put it back on, remember, these things, your armor or your book bags or your, you know, anything you're wearing, pants or shirt, if you take them off, these things have slots, and these things are holding items. So if you take it off, you're gonna have to carry that in your hand, and it brings a whole different. So just don't take it off, and keep an eye on your gear. Make sure that it's not ruined at all. You're gonna be finding things like sewing kits, leather repair kits, or any of that stuff in the game. The best thing you will ever be able to come across is tape. It's like your best friend. Right here, I'm gonna show you guys. If you have tape, this is a little neat trick that I like. If you have tape, just hold the tape over on your hand and then hover over the item that is damaged or anything like that. You press B to combine. You're gonna hold RT and it repairs it. Now tape, once you're done repairing it, you can see right here the tape has a durability on it. You see, like, it's white, and then there's a part of it that is like grayed out. That means the durability is starting to go down. So if you hold the tape in your hand and you hold RT, you restrain yourself. Once you're done restraining yourself, hold RT again, and you're gonna start struggling to take the tape out of your hands. Once you do that, boom, the tape basically refreshes, and it's like brand new. It's like you never used it before. This is a little bug which I'm sure they're gonna take out in the future, but I mean, it's not game breaking, and it will help you out, especially fighting all these pesky zombies. They are just horrible, and they're gonna beat on your character, and it's gonna ruin your gear, and you need your gear to be a max durability. Why? Because when somebody shoots you or a zombie hits you, the gear, your book bags, shirts, anything that you have on you will absorb the shock. That means that you're gonna take less damage, and it's less likely for you to get like a bleed effect or anything like that. So just make sure your clothes are tip-top shape. All right, now your shirt and your pants are basically full. You're like, damn dude, where can I find backpacks? There's three types of way of finding backpacks. You could search through the boats, you could search through the cargo crates that you saw me in the beginning where I found the shirt, and you're gonna find the Marlin backpacks in those cargo crates. Marlin backpacks are like 63 slots, which is amazing. The next one is gonna be this one right here. This is the second best backpack in the game, I would say, which is like the Mountaineer's backpack, which carries the most loot aside from the military backpack. Honestly, I don't like the military backpack. I think it's just way too big, and it's ridiculous. It's just like, I prefer it. I just prefer not to wear it. I prefer to do it. Or one of my favorite backpacks, which you could craft. All you need is a burlap sack, and this is where I told you where the rags come in handy. If you have two stacks of 6 rags, you could grab one in your hand and then grab the other one and combine those 12 racks into a rope. Now it's gonna give you the option of like campfire. No, go, like it says right there, click RT to go to the next recipe. Make sure to go to the rope one. Once you craft the rope, you're gonna be able to get the burlap sack, mix it with the rope. So put the burlap sack in your hand, go over, hover over the rope, press B to combine. You're gonna hold it. You're gonna make a satchel. Now if you go over to a tree, not a tree, sorry, if you go over to a bush and you cut it with the knife that you start out with, or if you find like a butter knife or anything like that in the game, you cut the tree or an axe, I mean not the tree, you cut the bush with an axe or anything like that, it's gonna make a long stick. You're gonna grab that long stick, or you can leave it on the floor, and then you're gonna go hover over it with the axe in your inventory or in your hand, and you're gonna combine that stick with the axe or whatever sharp tool you have. You're gonna cut that into sticks. You're gonna grab the satchel now and combine it with the sticks. And I know it's getting a little difficult. It's like, holy crap, like you guys need to slow down. But once you do this, it's gonna make a burlap sack backpack, which for me, it's nice. It looks stylish. It looks like you're a survivor, like you're out here just crafting through tools and everything just to try to make a life. Now, this backpack doesn't hold a lot. It only holds 42 slots. It's not much, but honestly, I like it because it's not big like the Marlin backpacks, and it's not like big and bright. You know, it's like brownish, kind of like greenish, so it blends in with like the environment. So if you hit the ground, it would be harder for people to see you while you're running in the bushes. All right, now that you know everything, you know how to get book bags, you know how to get food, you know how to feed yourself, you know basically you know all the essentials in order to you just get started on this game, and everything else you will learn as you go. But the last thing that you need to learn is how to locate yourself in this map. This way you would know where you're going, where to go, and how to get to military bases where the best loot is at. Now, as you can see right here, we see the sign. When it's white with red cross across the thing, it means you're leaving the town. When you see white signs, it means it's a town. When it's a blue sign, it's more of a sign like this way it's for this way it's for this town, this way is for this town. So right now, as you can see, if you download the app I Survive with the Z on your phone, you could actually hit the search bar and you could actually search this name up. Now, everything is in Russian. If you speak Russian, kudos to you, my friend. You are ahead of the game. If you don't, like the rest of us, then you're just going to have to search this up. Or you could just pull up on the internet, on your Google, just Google DayZ map. And it will give you like more, I guess, in detail maps. You need to learn where you are, because there's no such thing as a map on this game unless you find the item. And even then, it's going to be hard. And then one of your best friends is going to be the compass. If you could find a compass, you're like, it's gonna be so much helpful, because at least when you find yourself in the map, you're like, okay, I'm here. If I want to go here, I gotta go north. If you look at the compass, you're like, okay, north is that way, so let's go this way. You know, it's gonna help out a lot. But once you get the hang of the map, once you get lost, you're gonna get lost a lot of times, but that's what helped me. You know, getting lost, figuring things out. That's how you find the secret hiding spots that you could hide your base in, or maybe any types of loot. But that's going to come in future videos on how to stash loot, how to get the best gear, what's the best gear that you should be focused on, and all those other things more into detail in future videos. So I hope you guys tune in. I hope you guys like the starter guide, and I hope to see you guys next time. Remember, guys, I stream DayZ on Twitch, so make sure to follow my Twitch channel and go support, show some love. Let me know if the guide was helpful or not. You know, you could go there and be like, no, you guys suck. Just let me know, and I'll see you guys in the world of DayZ. Woo!